One of the most important concepts of international relations is the system of anarchy. So anarchy in international relations is different from what you might think. It doesn't mean that there is chaos and disorder going on, but anarchy means that the international system is designed in such a way that there is no higher authority above countries. So basically, there is no world government that rules above countries. In international relations, there are three levels of analysis. There's the individual level, the state, the country level, and the international system level. So this international system level is about how countries are organized in the world and how they relate to each other. So in this case, there is no central authority at the international level, at the system level. So the system is basically in a state of anarchy, where countries are the ones that have the ultimate authority to make decisions. There are, of course, international organizations like the United Nations and the European Union, but they are not a world government. There is no one country or a group of countries or an international organization that controls the international system and can basically tell countries what they should do or how they should behave. So countries only exercise power over their own sovereign territory. And because of this state of anarchy, the international system is a self-help system. So in case of an emergency, if you live in a country, you can call 911. But countries, they cannot call 911 at the international level and expect another country to come and help them. So inside a country, there are rules that regulate behavior. However, at the international level, this doesn't exist. And because of this system of anarchy, we get several issues. So the first issue is that countries can only rely on themselves for their own security. So security becomes their main priority. The second one is that countries cannot trust the intentions and the actions of other countries. So this makes it difficult for countries to trust each other, especially because countries can only rely on themselves for protection. So even if a country can know the intentions of another country right now, it's impossible to know their intentions in the future. So this makes some countries pursue balance of power strategies due to the uncertainty that a country could become too powerful and develop bad intentions. This is because it's impossible to know if a country will not turn itself against you in the future. So even if a country has good intentions now and they have good relations with you now, it's impossible to know that they will not turn themselves against you in 10, 15, 20, 30 years from now. So countries have to be ready for any possibility, and they need to have a plan B because of that uncertainty that comes with the system of anarchy. So a country might build up their military, even if they say that it's only for defensive purposes. Can another country really trust it? It's impossible to know if those weapons will someday be used against you. So international agreements are also on the same page. They are based on trust. And because there is no higher authority above countries that can force them to maintain an agreement, countries can cheat, or they can even leave the agreement. So countries have also different interests, and those interests will be competing. So if a country feels secure by increasing their military capabilities, other countries will see that as threatening, and they might feel insecure, and this can eventually lead to a security dilemma. And another point of anarchy is that conflicts and wars will keep on happening. There is nothing that can stop them. There is no single authority that can stop wars and conflicts from happening. So basically after World War II, the main question was how to prevent future wars. And for this, the system of anarchy has to be overcome first. And that's the reason why they created international institutions like the United Nations, the European Union. They were created not to fix anarchy, but to lessen the effects of the system of anarchy. And there are also two types of realist perspectives in international relations. There's classical realism, which focuses on explaining international politics from the perspective of human nature as being self-centered and self-interested with a desire for power. So if humans are like that, then countries will be the same way. And there's also structural realism, also known as neorealism, which explains international politics based on the structure of the international system, in which anarchy is a main feature of that system. And because of this, we can expect consequences and actions from countries. So this one takes a more scientific approach to international relations. And you can also analyze international relations by using and relating to each other the concepts of anarchy, the security dilemma, the balance of power. So if you look, for example, at the Russia-Ukraine invasion, from a classical realist perspective, human nature realism, it's the Russian leader that is self-centered and self-interested, so Russia will behave the same way. But if you look at it from a neo-realist perspective, Russia's actions are a reaction to the international system, which is anarchic. So you can see how anarchy will influence a country to behave in a certain way. And from there, you can also mix it with the other concepts. How does anarchy affect the security dilemma and the balance of power? And how do all of these concepts also influence a country's actions? So this way, you're also taking a more scientific approach, instead of just relying on conventional wisdom or just knowing a lot of facts about a conflict without relating them to the main concepts of international relations, and eventually coming up with a bigger analysis of the situation. So when you analyze issues of international relations, you can look at them through all of these perspectives and also be prepared for all of them, because there's no right or wrong answers in international relations. There are basically just answers. So that's it for this one, and thanks for watching.